Good afternoon, students. So, today we are going to learn lesson number 7, coordinate geometry. Okay, so while before starting with the practice set 7.1, we are going to take a short introduction about the chapter, like while solving the practice set, what terms and conditions we have to keep in our mind, that what are the actual things we should follow to know the quadrants and the points whatever it is given. Okay, so let's start with the chapter. First of all, the very first thing we have to keep in our mind, that for understanding this chapter we must know what is axis, what is origin, and what is quadrants. If these three terms we get in understand, that what does the axis, origin, and quadrant actually means, we will be able to solve the lesson very easily. Okay, so axis, if we see in this, if we see this picture very nicely, we will come to know that what is axis, origin, and what is quadrants. Okay, so you can see there is one horizontal line and one vertical line. Okay, the horizontal line, it is known as x-axis, and the horizontal vertical line which intersect x-axis is known as y-axis. Okay, it is the basic thing we every student know this about, that what is y-axis and what is x-axis. Okay, so the second thing is origin. Now the intersection. Okay, what the intersection where the two lines come and intersect, it is known as origin. Okay, okay, so the middle point where these two lines come and intersect each other, it is known as origin. Clear? Then next we come to quadrants. Now we can see there is four arrows. Okay, one is going this side, one is going this side, one is going this side, and one is going this side. So we come to know that there is a four parts of this axis, y-axis and x-axis. So the partition of these four boxes, it is known as quadrants. Clear? So there are four quadrants: the very first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. First quadrant we always start with right hand side. Okay, so this is our first quadrant. Okay, students, now we have seen this first quadrant is over here. Okay, this is the our first quadrant. So after this, while we are solving this practice set, we will see the quadrants go in anti-clockwise. Okay, it will not go like this way, it is the clockwise. Okay, but in this chapter we will see that if the thing is about quadrants, so the quadrants will go anti-clockwise. Okay, it will go like this: first, this one the first quadrant, then second, third, and fourth. This process is known as anti-clockwise. So this is nothing but a quadrants: first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. Till now it is clear what is axis, what is origin, and what is quadrant. Now we are going to see that how the points lie on the quadrants. If in the first quadrant, what it is, if the numbers, if both the points are positive, it is known as first quadrant. If the first point, which is x, and the second one is y, we always see that, just let me know, the first one will be x, the second one will be y. Okay, so if x is positive and y, both the numbers are positive, both the points are positive, it is known as first quadrant. If second, if x is negative and y is positive, in that term, the which quadrant we will consider, it will be second quadrant. Come to the third quadrant. it is the opposite of the first quadrant, whereas in first quadrant both the points were positive and in third quadrant both the points are negative as usual. As compared to second quadrant, if we see fourth point here, in second point and second quadrant, x is negative, y is positive, and over here x is positive and y is negative. Okay, so we'll start with the exercise now. We'll see practice set 7.1. What is the question given? State in which quadrant or on which axis do the following point lie. So if we see this, see the first point A, -3, and the second one is 2. So the first one is x and second one is y. So in which quadrant does it lies? The very first one is minus and the second one is plus. Okay, so it lies in a second quadrant. Then second one is both the points are in a negative, so it is a third quadrant. So like considerably we will find all the quadrants like this only. The third one is 3.5, 1.5. Point doesn't matter, the signs, the positive sign and the negative signs matters. So both the points have a positive sign, so it will come in first quadrant. Second one the same, 2 and 10, both the points have a positive sign, it will come in quadrant 1. The next E, 37, 35, again both the points are in a positive form, so they will come in first quadrant. Now next F, 15 and -18. So 15, x is positive, y is negative. So in which quadrant it will come? It will come in fourth quadrant. Okay, next. Now there is something new here. It is like, see the H1, 0 and -5. Now I'll show you a basic technique that how we will come to know that which quadrant it is. But if in any point number 0, if 0 is mentioned, that means it will not come in any quadrant, it will lie on axis. So here what is the answer? Y axis. But how come y axis? Now listen, this 0 is x and 5 is y. Okay, so the number 0 is in which position? We have to see that it is in a x position, so the this point 0 and -5, it will lie on y axis. Again the second one, 12 and 0, so 12 lies on x, 12 is x and 0 is y. So where does the 0 lies? On y axis, so it will come in a opposite direction, it is on x axis. Clear? Considerably this both the second one, it will do like that only, and 0 is in x place, so it will lie on y axis. P is P, again the same thing, 0 is on the place of x, it lies on x axis, so it will, this point will, the whole point will lie on y axis. The last one is Q, -7, -3. Now this is in which quadrant it will lie? It will lie on quadrant third, because it is the opposite of quadrant 1. In first quadrant both the numbers are positive, in second quadrant both the numbers are negative. Now the question number 2 is, in which quadrant do the following point lies? It is similar like that only. Over there we have to write the quadrant, here we have to answer the questions. Over there the points were given, here the explanation of the points are given. Okay, now first one is whose both the coordinates are positive. Now which quadrant have both the coordinates positive? but obvious first quadrant. Okay, so the answer is quadrant first. Secondly, whose both the quadrants are negative. Now see, whose both the quadrants are negative? The third quadrant. So the answer will be third. Third one, whose x coordinate is positive and y coordinate is negative. Now whose quadrant is positive and y quadrant is negative. So which one it is? It is fourth one. Okay, so the third answer is fourth quadrant. The last one is whose x coordinate is negative and y coordinate is positive. So x is negative and y is positive. So it comes in second quadrant. Clear everyone? So this was the basic concept of coordinate geometry. In further exercise, in further practice set, we will come to know and we will get to know what the coordinate geometry exactly implies. Okay, thank you so much.